back in 2014, my father unfortunately got the diagnosis that he was terminally ill. And to anyone that's been in that position, that is a hell of a shock of a diagnosis when there isn't anything that can be done apart from palliative care. And it changes your life from the point of actually him being ill and going into hospital, which was the 1st of February 2014. He passed away on the 29th of August 2014, so it was just under 7 months from finding out he was ill to him passing.
And when he was diagnosed, he told you exactly what he wanted to happen, didn't he?
Yes, I mean, from that point of view, I was actually very fortunate because when he got the diagnosis, myself and my father were talking to a consultant, and because my dad had mesothelioma, which is a slightly easier one of staging to work out roughly how long someone has got, my dad pushed him for a time scale, and the consultant said eventually that he wouldn't be there for his next birthday, and my dad's next birthday would have been November. So we had some idea of where we were at. We sat talking, having had lunch, and he literally just out and said, I don't want to go to hospital, I don't want any oxygen, and I don't want to be resuscitated. I just want to die here at home. And if you've ever had anyone say that to you, that's quite frightening that they've made their decision. But actually, as time went on, I actually found it a blessing because he'd made that decision. He was in control of what was going to happen to him. And I think that's the thing people don't realise with death. They do have some control, however minor. The fact that it's happening is not pleasant, but you need to take what control you can get.
So your father chose to talk to you about his wishes for his own death.
Yes.
Many people don't talk to their families about their wishes for their death, and many people find it difficult to talk about death. Is that something you would encourage? How would you recommend they do that?
Well, we're always being bombarded with adverts about get your will sorted, think and get your funeral planned. But no one actually says about preparing for those last days, weeks, months, maybe even years, when you're not necessarily in a position to do everything yourself. And I think far more emphasis should actually be put on looking after you when you're alive, and not so much worrying about what happens when you've passed. And I know that's as important, but you've got control about how you want to be cared for and where you want to be cared for. And if you can express that early enough on, no one's going to get hurt and upset. And I don't see any reason why it can't be discussed before you actually even have an illness, before the question even arises. There are tools out there that you can use. I mean, one of the things they refer to is a yellow folder, which to a lot of people, and actually to even GPs, is an alien concept, which is strange because it's there to be used. But you can use it as a principle to talk about what's happening and how you would like to be looked after, or leading to the fact of, have you done a will? Do you need to put in a power of attorney, and all those sorts of things. But you just need to have those conversations. You need to not be scared to talk of death.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you do go down the route of filling in the forms in a yellow folder, they're not legally binding. They can be updated and changed. It's your wishes, and it's just putting them down in black and white. And if you don't want to fill in the forms, I would suggest you just write it down and give it to a loved one, someone that's going to be there to look after you, someone that knows you, Just make them aware you do have specific things you would like to happen. It makes it so much easier, and actually being in control of what's happening to you, I think makes you feel better.